All right, so UFC 311 just finished at the amazing Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. Oh my God, what an event. The main card was fantastic, and I'm going to take you through all the main card fights. Now, first of all, Islam Makhachev was defending the belt. Turns out he's still the champion, but he's also the greatest lightweight fighter that the UFC has ever seen. A record of 28-1, 4 title defenses. No one's ever done it, and he took out Renata Moicano in the very first round. As we know, the day before the fight, when he was trying to make weight, he injures his back, he pulls out of the fight. It's annoying, but that's the fight game. Stuff like this does happen. So Arman Tsarukyan, I hope he gets the next shot. Moicano steps up. He was supposed to fight Beneil Dariush. Steps up on short notice. He believes in himself. He's on a roll. And he started off, it was okay. It was kind of tentative. Cracked Islam with a good shot. Now, maybe it was a slip. Maybe it was a legitimate knockdown. But either way, it didn't matter, because when Islam Makhachev decided to shoot, he did it with authority. Took him down. Beautiful chain wrestling, a sequence of events. Had one leg, kind of used the forearm to kind of clothesline him down as well. Gets on top, gets top position, and gets control. From there, Renata Moicano was taking his time. He was weighing up the options that were available to him. Gets the knee shield, gets the shin, pushes it across the body, and uses that leg to push Islam away. And that created a little bit of separation. And it's there where Renata Moicano made a big mistake. I'm not trying to shit on the man while he's down. Of course, we could see afterwards at the post-fight speech, he's very down. He's upset. He doesn't know if he'll ever fight for the belt again. But if we're talking about technically what went wrong, he presented the head as a target. And he knows that. He knows that. But when you're in the heat of battle, when you're in the moment, you make mistakes. So what I'm talking about is he pushes Islam off and there was separation. So then he tried to get on all fours to stand and get back to his feet. As he did that, Islam jumped on him, got the front headlock, turned it into a Bravo choke or a Doris choke, whichever one you want to call it. Quick as a flash. That was that. Gets the tap very, very quick. It just shows the strength, but yet the technique that Islam has. And that is why he's probably the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in all of the sport. It's unbelievable. Now, what should Moicano have done? Well, you want to get separation. You want to use that leg. You want to push him off. You want to use elbows off your back. You want to push on the head, whatever the case may be. You can't just lie there with Islam Makhachev on top of you. But when you do get a little separation, you've got to move towards the fence. You can sweep, of course. If you hit a perfect sweep, you get top position. That's beautiful. If you get your feet on the hips, boom, you can push them off. You can get butterfly guards and elevate them and turn them over and stuff like that. But you never, ever try and get on all fours to stand, okay? What you do is, from that situation, you should have shrimped back to the fence and then done a wall walk. As you're going up the fence, you cannot get around the back. Your back is protected, okay? That's why I always used to stand up that way. So, look, listen, Renata Moicano showed a lot of courage, stepping in short notice. So did Islam Makhachev, to be fair. He wasn't bothered who it was. He said, listen, I'm the champion. I'm here to fight the best. He went out there. He beat Moicano, who was on an absolute roll, destroyed Benoit Saint-Denis. And I thought he'd give him a good run. Well, it turns out Islam Makhachev is just that guy. Didn't call anybody out. Said, I love this belt. Probably wants to go up and fight Shavkat if Shavkat beats Belal Muhammad. But that's a big if, okay? It was kind of disappointing for the people in the crowd, because the co-main event, which we'll get to in a minute, that was 5 rounds of absolute madness. And then in the main event, Islam goes out there and just shows he is a cut above the rest. The man really is special. He's phenomenal, and he's going to go down in the history books as probably the greatest lightweight fighter that this sport has ever seen. Now, as I said, the co-main event, that shit was crazy, right? From start to finish, a wild pace, a furious fight from both men. It really was something to behold. Now, the pace of Merab Dvalishvili is called the machine for a reason. That relates to his cardio. That relates to his pressure. And let me tell you, that's what we saw in full effect. I knew it wasn't going to be easy for either man. Both great wrestlers, typically, they cancel each other out and the fight plays out on the feet. Umar Nurmagomedov showed in the first 2 rounds, probably got cleaner striking, right? He's definitely more technical and definitely got a bit more speed to him. But that doesn't matter over a 5-round fight. He won round 1, Umar. He won round 2 as well. round 3 was pretty close. And whilst, yes, Merab started landing some shots, he started hitting some takedowns, the story of the fight was that Umar was starting to slow down. The pressure was relentless from Merab. And when you start to get tired, you start to make mistakes. And that is the beginning of the end in terms of you winning the fight. If you saw the fight, he did the same thing in 4. He did the same thing in 5. He was throwing wild shots. He was swinging with everything he had. He was hitting takedowns. He would grab a single leg, slam him down, run the pipe, put him down with authority, and he just never stopped. On top of that, he was running around. He was showboating. He was talking to people in the crowd. He was smiling. He was having a whale of a time, okay? Because he just knew. He felt the shift in momentum coming towards him. He knew he was going to be the first person to defeat Umar Nurmagomedov, and that is exactly what happened. Now, I thought it was 48-47 in favor of Merab, but as soon as I heard one judge give it 49-46, well, it had to go to Merab because there's no way that Umar won those last 2 rounds. No way whatsoever. Whereas I guess you could make an argument for Merab winning rounds 1 and 2, although I wouldn't have given them to him. But round 3, questionable, although Merab did land more strikes. Now, what's next for Merab Dvalishvili? I don't know, because outside of Umar Nurmagomedov, I'm telling you, I don't think there's anyone that beats him. We saw what he did to O'Malley, kind of went through him. It was kind of one-sided, as much as I love O'Malley. And every fight's different, to be fair. Corey Sandhagen got out-wrestled by Umar. Merab would probably do the same. I don't know if there's anybody in the bantamweight division that's going to beat Merab anytime soon. I'll tell you what, I couldn't be happier for him because the man is a class act. Now, before that, fight of the night for sure, it's got to be, or certainly the most exciting fight, Yuri Prochazka, the Samurai, taking on Jamal Hill. This one delivered for sure. As soon as they walked out, Yuri stopped in the middle of the crowd, just staring him down like an absolute psychopath, okay? Jamal stands there, trying to hold the gaze as well. The fight starts off, Yuri's doing his usual. It's a herky-jerky style. It's unpredictable. You can't read it. There's no patterns. It's kind of wild. It's kind of crazy. A boxing coach will be like, what are you doing? Put your chin down, get your hands up, be a bit more rhythmatic in your movement. Stop being so herky-jerky and robot-like. But Yuri makes it work for him. And in the first round, cracks him with a left, sits him down, goes on the hunt. But we've got to give respect to Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill was able to see out that first round, okay? He was almost finished on a couple of occasions. He was knocked down once. Yuri goes up for a few follow-ups, works his way back to his feet, hits the canvas again, a few more follow-ups, but he worked back to his feet. Then in the second round, there was a really nasty eye poke from Jamal. I did worry for Yuri there because it looked like, well, potentially the fight might have continued. His fingers went all the way into the eyes. The doctor came in, the clock was ticking, of course, to get 5 minutes. But of course, the man's a samurai. He ain't going to go out like that. The fight continues. And Jamal, listen, a lot of people like to shit on Jamal. Jamal was fighting a really tough guy, a former champion, of course, in Yuri, and he made it a fight. I think he probably won the second round, or it was very close. And in round 3, both men started landing some big shots. But the slipping and the ripping, the head movement from Yuri Prochazka was so quick, and some beautiful combinations. One thing I saw that he'd been working on for sure was throwing, and then he would dip and roll under every time and then go again. He did that several times, found the mark, dropped Jamal in the third round, followed up, got the stoppage at 3 minutes, 1 second in the third round. Now, of course, all he wants is another rematch against Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira, it was announced, will be fighting Magomed Ankalaev in March in Las Vegas. And you never know, maybe Yuri gets the winner. But does he deserve that? I don't know. I think maybe. Probably the man needs one more win. But still, well done, Yuri Prochazka, one of the most original and authentic people in all of the sport, and I'm really happy for him. And commiserations to Jamal Hill. It was an entertaining, fun fight. Jailton Almeida went out there, got taken down off Sergey Spivak with like a whizzer kick. He had the underhook and used his leg, kind of like a hip throw, threw him down. But Jailton was able to hit a nice sweep, got back to his feet, landed a couple of good shots, kind of wobbled Spivak, got on top of him, bish, bash, bosh, few punches, that was it. First round got the job done. And then opening up the main card, Kevin Holland. You might have saw this. Kevin Holland was on the Jackson podcast. He said he didn't give a shit about this fight on Saturday night and he was ready to throw down with Quinton Rampage Jackson. I'm not sure that would have been a good idea. Fair play to Rampage for staying so calm in that moment, okay? I guess you can't beat up guests on your podcast. And I'm a fan of Kevin Holland, by the way. But just, we have weight classes for a reason. Renata Moicano, former champion in 2 weight divisions at 1FC, came to the UFC, beat Gerald Meerschaert in his UFC debut, went up against Kevin Holland, hit a single leg straight away, took him down with authority. Kevin Holland tried for a triangle choke. There was nothing there. He took the back, and right then and there, I knew this fight was just over, right? Because Renata Moicano, if you don't know this guy, when he takes your back, you are done. You are toast. I'm telling you, he has an amazing ability with the rear naked choke and the grappling in general. So there it is. That is the main card. 4 finishes, 1 decision. The decision between Merab and Umar, that was fireworks from start to finish. Before that, Randy Barcelos defeated Peyton Talbot. That was a disappointing one for Peyton. Randy Barcelos, listen, this guy's incredible. Peyton Talbot was undefeated going into that one. Barcelos is a wrestling champion, a jiu-jitsu champion, and had really good striking as well. And let me tell you, if Jamal versus Yuri didn't get fight of the night, maybe that one did as well, because that was a phenomenal fight. As I said before, Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira, that goes down in March. They also announced the co-main event, Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. Violence guaranteed in that one. That's shaping up to be a tremendous card. The night at the Intuit Dome, unbelievable. The graphics on that big screen that they had in the arena, they were phenomenal, state of the art. The crowd was fantastic, of course, when you consider what the people of LA have been through in the last couple of weeks. But the people of LA, they came out and they enjoyed themselves. That arena is beautiful. The fights were fantastic. The energy was unbelievable from start to finish. Well done to Islam Makhachev, the greatest lightweight fighter that this sport has ever seen. Now, if you want to see some more videos, then you got to subscribe to the membership package on this channel, because I'm dropping member videos every single day. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Islam Makhachev. Who should he fight next? I mean, ultimately, who is there to fight? I think Shavkat Rakhmonov, if he defeats Belal Muhammad. And that's a big if, by the way. But he ain't going to fight Belal because the brothers, if he beats Belal, then Islam has earned that right. Merab Dvalishvili, I'm not sure who he fights next. Let me know what you think about that. Yuri Prochazka, does he get another shot at the title straight away, just like that? Again, I don't know about that one. Jailton Almeida looked incredible. He looked like he'd learned before he relied too heavy on the wrestling. He's a big guy, he's strong, he's athletic. Power in the hands. Talking about Tom Aspinall. Careful what you wish for there, buddy. Anyway, I'm doing it again. I'm going through the whole card. Congrats to everyone that won. Congrats to everyone that showed up. If you placed a bet, congratulations on winning, hopefully. Anyway, as I said, subscribe, ring the bell. See you soon.